Hey there, Sandy Freshy here, back with another video. Thank you for joining me. So today we are going to talk a little bit about the conscious and unconscious parts of the chart. Now, I thought I had made a video about this a while ago, and I did actually, which I will reference. However, someone sent me some questions about it again, so I want to hone in on one aspect of their questioning. So the question goes like this: where do the conscious and unconscious parts of the chart come from? What makes them what they are? And how are they calculated into our chart? Now, I actually do have a video about how they are calculated in the chart, and I will leave that either up here somewhere or probably up here and down here in the description, so that you can go and just watch that video for about the mechanics of how it's calculated. But what I want to drill into today, or what I want to dive in today, is where just a brief overview of where the conscious and unconscious parts of the chart come from and what makes them what they are, which I interpret as meaning what is the significance of the conscious and unconscious parts of the chart. And this is important for you to know. And I'm really glad that this person actually asked me these questions, because a lot of times when I do a human design reading for someone who is pretty new to human design, I'll get through this whole brilliant explanation about their type and their strategy, their profile, integrate it with how they're living their life and get them started on the understanding how they can begin their experiment and all of that stuff, and the gates and the channels and the centers and the not self and the, and the signature theme, all of that good stuff, right? That is on the chart that you get a tour of in your first reading. And then I get the question, what do the black and red mean on the chart? And I realize, I overlooked a fundamental thing. So let's go over that now. Let's talk about the black and the red, which is the conscious, unconscious parts of your chart. Black being the conscious part, red being the unconscious part. Or if you're looking at perhaps a chart from jovianarchive.com, and I think Genetic Matrix is now doing this, the black is known as the personality, and the red is known as the design aspect of the chart. So the black aspect, all of these gates that are in black, are of course on your human design chart in black, and that those aspects are known as conscious, personality gates, and they are taken from the imprint of your chart at the time of your birth. So when you factor in the astrology, you're basically looking at your astrological birth chart through the lens of your human design body graph and the I Ching through the gates. So these are aspects of you that you know about, that you are aware of. In traditional human design, I was taught that the personality side of the chart, the conscious side of the chart, is who you think you are. Karen Curry Parker talks about how it is your soul's curriculum. You can watch some of her videos to go a little bit deeper into that if you want to. However, just know that these are aspects of you that when you're looking at your gates and your channels and you're studying what they mean and they're black, you're probably going to go, oh yeah, I recognize that about myself. The red side, the design side, the unconscious side of the chart is the imprint that is taken roughly 88 days or 3 months before the time of your birth. So someone illuminated to me or said to me as I was giving them a reading and explaining red and black, I did in that reading, right? I explained the red and black. He said, oh, The design side is the imprint that's taken at the beginning of your third trimester of birth. Now, without going into a lot of the deep details about the design crystal and all of that, that's something for another video or deeper study. Just know that at this time, at the beginning of the third trimester before your birth, this is the time when your body gets wired up with its characteristics. And we understand the characteristics, your characteristics, as the gates in your human design chart. So this is an aspect of you that is less conscious. You may not really be able to see those characteristics about yourself, but they operate automatically. So think of it as being something similar to the unconscious, being something similar to your heart beating, but you're not really aware that your heart is beating, but it's still beating. It's still very apparent that it's beating because you're living and you're breathing and all of that. So as you get older, you tend to have a little bit more awareness about the unconscious aspects of your chart, the unconscious gates in your chart. And that's because you have the benefit of hindsight and you can look back on your experiences and see how perhaps that has played out, those characteristics have played out or shown themselves in your life. So personality, conscious is the imprint that's taken at the time of your birth. It is the things that you have most the characteristics about you that you have most conscious access to. And the unconscious red design side of your chart is the imprint that's taken at the beginning of the third trimester, 88 days roughly before your birth. And this is what is running all the time without your awareness a lot of the times, that is representative of how your form, your body tends to just show up and be in the world through these characteristics. So I hope that makes it clearer, that is something that gives you, a little bit of mental relaxation if you've had that question about what's the red, what's the black, what does it mean that it's conscious or unconscious, and that you can just begin to settle into how do the two work together. How do I show up? And that's what the value of knowing your type, strategy, and authority and beginning to experiment with that, because that is really, we don't usually tease out personality from design unless you're really trying to go into deep differentiation to briefly understand how all of the parts work. But we're not these separate parts. We're not just the black conscious side of ourselves, and we're not the red unconscious side of ourselves. We're a combination of body, mind, and soul. So working with your type, your strategy, your authority, experimenting with that, adding in these other pieces as you tease them out to see them more clearly, and then bring them back into the whole of your life is really going to support you in your own alignment to your signature theme, which we may talk about at another time, that is the indication that you are being who you are, being a true expression of who you are. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the question. Thank you to the contributor for this question. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Get on my email list and send me questions from there. And I do so much better with videos when there's this back and forth energy and conversation. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until the next time, be well.